Hello, everybody. We should be live. And in the title, as well as the thumbnail I'm about to put on right now, you'll see that we are doing another live action Disney movie tier list. This one we talked about we were going to do last week, including a lot of the favorites that were not included in the first one, making it part 2. There it goes up right now. And before we start, I'm actually going to throw my phone into airplane mode because we all know what happens like every single time I'm live. So wait 1 second. I was thinking about doing this before I started. Totally spaced on it, but my phone should totally be in airplane mode. And there it goes. No texts or incoming calls. And these tier lists, just like all of our videos, are brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Let our travel experts help you plan the vacation of your dreams. All that information and more in the description below. But yep, so we're here today with another tier list. And if you've never done one of these before, basically how it works is I pull up a movie on the screen, like this one. My pirates are definitely out of order. That's okay. I'll fix it. There. Oh, maybe I just opened up multiple. Yes, they are in the right order. I'll pull up a movie on the screen just like this. And it's up to chat to decide what ranking that movie should get. And we've done a number of these now. I think this is probably our 7th or 8th. So I feel like most people probably get the gist of it. So with that being said, I think we can just go ahead and start. Hello, everybody in the chat right now. Thank you so much for joining us today. I see Sam. Hey, Sam. I see Haley, my wife. Hey, Haley, my wife. She remembers Emma Crook, Heather, Sherry, K-Rod, Wendy, the Black Panther, CH, Donato, Jason. Welcome, everybody. Meredith. Welcome, everybody. Is my volume low? Move my mic closer to my face. How about this? Does my volume sound pretty good now? All right, we're going to start off with the first Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Miss Magical Monica, welcome. So good to have you. This is the original. The original Pirates of the Caribbean. Going with the coffee here. Second coffee today. Staying energized. I know where this would go for me. I know where this would go for me. Votes are piling in. And I think we have a pretty big consensus here, with the number one set answer being a resounding top tier. We are starting off setting the bar high. We are starting off setting the bar high with Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, going right in to the top tier slot. And with that, we're going to keep moving forward to the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I think I got these right. Dead Man's Chest was the second one, right? I'm pretty sure it was. Pretty sure it was. But nonetheless, there's 5, and we're going to do all 5 first to set the bar here. So, next up, we are voting. I'm going to wait for it to catch up. Yep. We are voting for Dead Man's Chest. Dead Man's Chest is up next. I love all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. It's funny to think that there's going to be like a generation of humans who go to Walt Disney World for the first time and think that the ride is based on the movies. Most of us here, of course, know that that's not the case. But I bet you, like, the kids growing up right now, like, ages maybe 5 and under, and then all the people that are yet to be born, they're probably going to go to Disney World for the first time, go on Pirates of the Caribbean, and be like, oh yeah, the movies. It's funny to think about. All right. Dead Man's Chest, another great film in my opinion. Let's see what chat thinks. We have top tiers, we have A's, we have B's. But right now the number one said answer is A. By a resounding margin it is A. So, make it easy enough for me. Dead Man's Chest gets an A. And if you guys didn't know, if chat's votes don't make it easy for me, we go to strawpoll. We didn't need that yet, though. Let's see about the next one. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is the next movie. Channy Lerner says, my friends already think that now and I judge them. Well, you can easily prove them wrong. You can easily prove them to be incorrect with that. All right, at World's End. This is the one where they need the like the pieces of 7. And they like transform Calypso. Votes are coming in with A's, C's, B's. And the number one answer right now being a B. Again, by quite the margin. By quite the margin. Thanks, Magical Monica. Yes, if you guys could give the video a thumbs up, it does help us out a ton. Appreciate that. And it looks like we are going to very much set the bar with Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Very much creating a nice spread starting off already. But we're not done with Pirates of the Caribbean yet, because there's more Pirates of the Caribbean. On Stranger Tides. I forget this one kind of. Is this where Orlando Bloom meets his dad? I think, maybe. Pieces of 8. Emma, you got it. That was it. Pieces of 8. Not 7. I was missing one. So, is On Stranger Tides where Orlando Bloom finds out who his dad is? C Division 3D, who is your main in Smash Fiasco? It's always been Pikachu. But with the new game for, with the newer game for Nintendo Switch, I like to use Luciana a lot too. Pretty good with Luciana. Depends on my matchup. Depends on who I'm going up against. I feel like it's good coverage, those two. Who Pikachu doesn't fare well against, Luciana's pretty good against. All right. On Stranger Tides. We have C's, D's, B's. With the number one answer also being a solid B. But this one was a little bit, Orlando Bloom isn't in this one. I knew he wasn't in the next one. But I wasn't sure if he was, So who isn't? I forget. I knew they changed up the cast for the next Pirates, but I didn't know this one too. This one's also coming in at a B. is what it's looking like. And then we have the last Pirates movie, number 5. So I know Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley are not in this. But I didn't know that they weren't in the one before it, too. So, Dead Men Tell No Tales is the next one. Emma knows her Pirates of the Caribbean, so that's the one with Blackbeard. Blackbeard. I've seen all the Pirates movies, but I think I've seen... so I've seen the first 3 multiple times, and I've seen the newest 2 one time apiece. So I'm a little foggy on the newest 2. People really like the new one. It's either an A or a B. Looking like a B. Okay. We are going to go with a B. So there it goes. All right. So starting off, we have a pretty clean spread, I think. We've so far rated the 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, with The Curse of the Black Pearl, the original one, being our top tier contender. The second movie being an A-lister, and all the rest of them being B tier. I think that's a good, very good start. As we move on to some more favorites of mine. True American hero here. I mean, you can't argue with that. Nick Cage, National Treasure. I mean, I love these movies. And I feel like there's 2 types of people in this world. There's people who like National Treasure, and there's people that don't like National Treasure. And chat, today, it's your turn to inform us. Which one are you? Which one are you? My mug here says, hello, handsome. Hello, handsome. Votes are piling in. Right now, it is a solid A with quite a number of top tiers as well. But I don't think there's enough top tiers to push it there yet. Whereas Curse of the Black Pearl was just resounding top tier. Right now, the number 1 set answer is a definite A. So, A it is. If it was my personal opinion only, National Treasure would be top tier. I love this movie. I've watched this movie probably like 20 times, and it never gets old for me. I loved the original National Treasure. As we move forward, 2, the second National Treasure, which was the Book of Secrets. Book of Secrets. What do we think about Walt Disney's National Treasure 2, the Book of Secrets? Grant, we don't really need a straw poll yet because we had like 15 A's and like 6 top tiers, so it's pretty grounded A. But if it was a little bit more divided, I'd pull out the polls. I'll actually get a poll ready right now, just for when we need it, as those votes flow in. Book of Secrets. Is looking like either an A or a B. There's about as many people saying Book of Secrets is top tier as there were that said the original National Treasure is top tier. But there's less people giving it an A. there's more divided answers there, with the A being split up between B's and C's. So, with that being said, it was definitely voted lower than the original, putting it in the B tier. And that is where it's going to go for now. And for those of you that are new to these tier lists, it is possible to revote something as we progress further on in the list and things start to flesh out a little bit more, because then you can kind of feel like things change. Like when you start to put movies in their rankings, you start to realize, oh, that shouldn't be there with that. It should be above or below that, stuff of that nature. But as we move on, we're going to talk about the original Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Where does Walt Disney Pictures' Chronicles of Narnia belong? Votes are coming in for Chronicles of Narnia. This is our most divided one yet, by a long shot. So this is where the polls come in, guys. This is where we need polls. So I am going to post a straw poll in the chat for you and have you vote officially. I'm going to post it twice. I do that just in case chat pushes the link away. So you can vote for Narnia, and we will take that answer because it is very divided, the most divided film we've yet to post. And if you can see on the screen right now, we have many titles to go through today. We have 38 in total. This is our second biggest tier list that we've undertook thus far. $21 votes in right now, with the number one answer currently being A, with half of the votes. Refreshing it now, 10 more votes flowing in, but not much changing as far as the margins are concerned. I'm going to give it about 10 more seconds for you to cast your vote if you so do choose to. And I'm going to do one more refresh in 5, 4, 3, 2. Our answer with 46% of the vote, that's a total of 15 votes, is A. So, the original Chronicles of Narnia is going up right next to National Treasure and Pirates of the Caribbean 2 as an A-lister. As we move forward, we have the next Chronicles of Narnia movie, Prince Caspian. So, chat, where does the second Chronicles of Narnia movie belong on this list? Channy says maybe you should sing a score from each movie. Yeah, right? Some of these movies I could do that for, but not all of them. Actually, the next movie I haven't even seen. And it's a shame because I know it's everywhere. I know you can watch it on Netflix, on Disney Plus, but I always just pass by it and never choose to watch it. I've seen Narnia, but the next movie we're about to look at, I have not seen. So, Narnia 2 is the most that answer is C by quite a bit, with some B's and some D's. I think that's easy to say this is a C with those votes. And there it goes. Now the next movie. That was an easy one. It was almost a B, but it ended up being a C. The next movie, the BFG. Have no idea. Never seen it. Don't know what it's about. It's obviously a Disney live action, though. Maybe with some CGI, because it looks like it's definitely a movie that would incorporate some CGI. But BFG, Chat, let me know. I've never seen it. I've never seen it, so it's all up to you. I have no judgment here. Amy Purdy says, how many of these live action tier lists will you do? There'll probably be one more. That's like lots of different movies. But then also like people were asking to see like a Star Wars specific one and a Marvel specific one. So they would get their own. Marvel and Star Wars would get their own thing. But as far as like a wide spread of movies, probably one more. Kim Olsen says, is this live right now? It is. In chat is completely deciding where all of these movies should go on the list. So play along. Give us your answers. So here we go. BFG. Catching up with chat here. Most people haven't seen it. And that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it. It's on Netflix. It's on Disney Plus. Just hasn't really caught my eye. See, this is a tough one. Most people just haven't seen it. Most people just haven't seen it. So we're going to do something different because I feel like we're going to have one more movie that happens with. I'm going to... We never give anything an F. We really don't. So, the last rating is now going to be didn't see it. And when most of chat says they didn't see a movie, we're just going to put it there. Because we had like 6 people who have actually watched this movie. And I don't think that's enough to rate it. So, most people didn't see it. So, BFG didn't see it. Next up. Another movie I haven't seen, but maybe you have. I tried, because there's so many live action movies, guys, that I tried to include a good mix of stuff that would flesh out the list well and be in like multiple different rankings. But in doing that, I had to pick some stuff that like I really didn't like or like care to watch. And Beverly Hills Chihuahua falls into that category of like I didn't care to go see it. But have you? And if you did, where does it fall? And any Fs I see, I'm just going to count as Ds because we ditched the F ranking for a little ranking of didn't see it for the movies that most of us haven't seen. Right now, the number one said answer for Beverly Hills Chihuahua is D. Some people really liked it, though. So I feel bad to put it in D, but most people are giving it a D. A lot of people didn't see it as well, though. But I got enough. There's enough Ds to give it the D. So it's going to go into that ranking. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for the people who love Beverly Hills Chihuahua, saying it's a cute movie and stuff like that, but the majority has spoken and the vote has been cast. As we move on to our next film, a classic, undoubtedly. And for those of you asking for singing, I cast a spell on you, and now you're mine. Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus. Classic. Classic movie. And I know we've probably all seen it too. Make Me Mad says you were able to add rows, just in case you didn't know. Yes, I know you can add rows, but I've had issues where when I add rows, it scrambles the order in which I have all of the movies. So I can't do that right now because so right now in my like production panel, I have all the movies I'm pulling up on the screen in the exact same order as I have them on the tier list. And it would be really bad if they got scrambled right now. Because in live time, I'd have to fix them. But yeah, you can normally. I would have had to think of it beforehand though. Hocus Pocus is looking like a top tier or an A. Catching up with chat right now, I think we got enough top tiers to seal the deal. Yep, that's definitely enough top tiers to seal the deal. So there it is. Our next top tier movie is Hocus Pocus, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Our next movie, personal favorite of mine, Holes. A lot of us have probably written a book report on this. Maybe. I read it in school. I read it before the movie came out, so when I read it and then the movie came out, I was really excited. Does that make me sound old? Does that make me sound old that I was either in middle school or high school reading Holes before the movie was out? I don't know. Maybe to some, and to others, it might make me sound young. The votes for Holes are starting to come in. This is one of my favorites, guys. Let's do it justice. The number one sent answer is a resounding A. Resounding A. There are many people who have never seen, but the number one said answer by far is A. So, A is where it's going to go, and I think our list is looking really, really good right now. I would agree with most of it, plus or minus a few. If it was up to me, I would probably have National Treasure and Holes up one. Maybe Prince Caspian up one. And everything else I would keep the same. So pretty much the same list. Pretty much. Next, we have Angels in the Outfield. You gotta believe it could happen. Tried to pick a good spread of movies here. And our next part of that spread is Angels in the Outfield. It was Danny Glover, Tony Danza, and I can't read the last name because it's blending in with the sky. Angels in the Outfield. It gotta happen. It could happen. You gotta believe. All right. So here again we have a pretty big spread. So I need another poll. Let me make you the poll real fast, if my browser would load. Let me redo it. A, B, C, D, didn't see. Okay. Here comes the poll, guys. Go ahead and head to the straw poll and cast your vote. Gotta love the glove. Christopher Lloyd, that's what it says. Christopher Lloyd played the angel, right? That's definitely what it says. Now that you said the name, I can read it. You've taught me how to read. Thank you. I could never repay you. The results are starting to come in here on the poll. Right now we are like, it's a pretty neck and neck tie between A, didn't see, B, and C. Like all those are tied, which is kind of crazy. Right now with almost 40 votes, the number one answer now though is didn't see. So with that, I guess it goes in the didn't see category. That's a lot of didn't sees, so I don't know if we can give it a fair rating. And that's just how it is. So, what everybody should do in the next week or so is maybe watch one of these movies you haven't seen yet, like BFG or Angels in the Outfield. You know what I think I'm going to do tonight? I think I'm going to go watch BFG tonight, because I've seen it so many times pop up on my Netflix and Disney Plus feed, and I never watch it. So that is going to be something I do. But that's what we should do. We should watch some movies we haven't seen. Next one. Another one I haven't seen. A Wrinkle in Time. But have you, chat? Have you seen A Wrinkle in Time? One of the more recent releases. Cast your votes. Channy, are you talking about A Wrinkle in Time or BFG? Claire says everyone needs to go watch Angels in the Outfield, and we can revisit this tier list later. Yep. All right, guys, thanks for coming. I'm going to end the stream now so everybody can go watch Angels in the Outfield, and then we'll come back and give our ratings. And how long's the movie? About an hour 34. In an hour and 34 minutes, we'll come back and we'll resume the list. Imagine, right? That'd be so funny if I did that. All right. A Wrinkle in Time. It looks like didn't see. Right now, the number one sent answer by a large margin is didn't see. So, another one that most people haven't seen. So with that, another one to consider looking into. Next up, I think this is one that most of us have seen, but probably like pushed off in the back of our minds. But try to remember it. Air Bud, the dog is in the house. He sits, he stays, he shoots, he scores. That's a lot. He does a lot. Air Bud's up next. Votes are coming in for Air Bud. Right now, Air Bud is looking like a solid C. There's A's and B's for Air Bud too. Lauren says, any classic live action films? No. I when I put out the plug that this was coming out, I mentioned but forgot to mention in the actual video, these are all movies from the 80s to now, because there's too many live action Disney movies to include all time frames, so this is specifically from 1980 to now. Movies that came out in those periods of time. Because there's literally hundreds of movies. And it looks like Air Bud is a C. And there it goes. Next up is Bridge to Terabithia, which I don't remember seeing. I don't remember seeing this movie, but I could have. Votes are starting to come in. That's a lot of didn't sees. Like, so many didn't sees. Okay. So, most people have not seen Bridge to Terabithia. So, I'll move on to the next movie. Once my chat catches up so I don't get mixed up. The people who did see Bridge to Terabithia, though, seem to really like it. Guys. There was like 3 or 4 votes casted, but they all were like A's and stuff. But maybe that's something that we should check out. But anyways, the next movie is Flubber. Flubber, what do we think? I remember, like, probably about 5 years ago. I don't know if it's still this way because, like, valuable pins really started to take off in the past few years. Like, there's been so many valuable releases, and Disney started to do more with pins at, like, D23 and stuff like that, as far as, like, putting out value goes. But at one point, the most valuable Disney pin was a Flubber pin. It was a Flubber pin. I don't think that's still the case, but a few years ago it was. All right, the votes for Flubber are flowing in. And it looks like right now Flubber is an A. It's teetering between A and B. Shannon, you got to go. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it, and see you next time. Right now, Flubber is an A. Almost a B. It's almost down to a B, but it's just enough to stay in the A-listers, and it will go there. Next up, we have Freaky Friday, but not the original, the one with Lindsay Lohan. Because, again, like I said, these are all movies between 1980 and 2019. Right? That's the latest one, I think. Nutcracker. 2019. Freaky Friday's up next. And people are saying National Treasure should move up. I agree with you. It's one of my favorite movies. So after Freaky Friday, we will do a straw poll for National Treasure to move up. And as you guys vote for Freaky Friday, I will get that poll ready. All right. Freaky Friday. The number one said answer is a B. The second most said answer is an A. And then plenty of top tiers and C's balancing on either side. So it's an A or a B. Catching up to chat, it is definitely more B's than A's. So I'm going to put it in the B. And with that, we need to do our first revote. We are revoting National Treasure. Pull it up right here. There it is. National Treasure. National Treasure, while you're voting, is currently alongside Chronicles of Narnia, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Holes, and Flubber. We are voting to potentially move it up to top tier with Pirates of the Caribbean 1 and Hocus Pocus. What do we say? Ho ho ho! It's been voted to move up. Y'all voted to move it up? I couldn't agree more. National Treasure fills in the ranks of top tier with the likes of Hocus Pocus and Curse of the Black Pearl. And next, we will move forward onto our list with our next movie, Hannah Montana. I haven't seen it. I know Haley has. I have not seen Hannah Montana, the movie. Have you? Have you seen Hannah Montana, the movie, chat? And if you have, how was it? Gotta let me know. Right now, the number one set answer for Hannah Montana the movie is D. The second most set answer is didn't see it, followed by C. So, B for best of both worlds. That's a good. I like that answer. There's so many didn't sees that it's gonna have to go into the didn't see category, with most of chat not seeing it. We got to just keep it uniform, and if most of chat didn't, about half of chat didn't see it, so it goes into didn't see. Next up, Haunted Mansion. We are not rating the ride. By the way, we are rating the movie. Haunted Mansion. What do we think? Whoa. Some unexpected votes. I guess there's two camps of people in this world for Haunted Mansion too. Those who liked it and those who didn't. That's a split I was not expecting. So, I'll take to a poll. I was expecting this to be an easy mid to low tier rating. But it doesn't appear that way. So here we go, guys. We have a straw poll coming in chat right now. Go ahead and cast your vote there. Too big of a spread to call. About 20 votes in right now, with literally votes in every category. It's the number one set answer is changing by the second. It's looking like a D. Okay. So here's what I'm working with right now. B, C, and D are all tied with 8 votes. D just took the lead. But with the spread that we're working with, C, B, and D all being so close together, It's going to have to be a C. So, with that being said, Haunted Mansion is getting a C. It's all over the board. Yep, gotta go with C. That split says it all. And with that, we'll go to our next movie. Herbie. This is not the original Herbie, but the Lindsay Lohan one. Herbie Fully Loaded. And I'll tell you right now, I have not seen it. I have not seen it. Yeah, doing this with Disney restaurants would be really fun. I'll probably like convince the team to do it with me in the back in the studio for the dining show. Some pretty low ratings for Herbie, but also many didn't see it. But it looks like it's enough D's to call it in. Ton of D's. Okay. All right. Herbie's an easy rating there. It's getting a D. There's lots that didn't see it, but everyone that did see it is pretty much giving it a resounding D. So there it goes. That was an easy one. That was an easy one. We're going to bring up another classic. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I miss this, I miss Honey, I Shrunk the Kids' presence in the parks. I miss it. I remember it like from my first original trips. What do you guys think? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's either A or top tier. That's what it's looking like. The number one said answer was A, but there's so many top tiers. I think there's enough to push it up. I think that's enough to push it up. So, it's a top tier movie. The number one said answer was A, but barely. Top tier was right behind it, and that's enough to get it top tier, personally. So it's going to get it. And I'm going to move on. 2. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. What do we think? I don't think we're watering down top tier. Curse of the Black Pearl, Hocus Pocus, National Treasure, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids being the only titles with almost 40 movies to rate. I mean, I don't think it's very watered down. Inspector Gadget is a renounding C to D. It's one of the two. The number one answer is heavily I don't remember what I was going to say. It's between C and D, and C is the number one answer. There we go. So it's gonna be C. It's gonna be C. Next up, Into the Woods, also one of the newer movies. Haven't seen this one. Have not seen Into the Woods. Magical Monica, the original, the Inspector Gadget's animated series. I like that too. I remember watching that as a kid. It looks like Into the Woods is a didn't see right now. Yeah. Mostly people saying it they didn't see it. So another one to consider watching. Another one to consider watching. Here's one that I think most of us probably have seen. Mighty Ducks. There are sequels to this. I just did the original though. Kim Olsen says if you haven't seen Into the Woods, you need to see it. So guys, be checking Disney Plus for these titles that you haven't seen yet. Mighty Ducks is up next. Right now, Mighty Ducks is looking like either top tier or A. Impressive. Quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack. Oh, Into the Woods isn't available on Disney Plus yet. All right, guys, we're going to need a poll for the Ducks. Poll's coming right up. Hot off the press, top tier. You'll know when you see it what the ranking is. Let's give our votes for Mighty Ducks. Right now, the top set answer is quack, quack, quack. Number 2 set answer is A. Give it about 15 more seconds for people to cast their votes. All right, with 41% of the vote, the number 1 set answer is quack, 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 also known as top tier. Mighty Ducks win this round and go all the way to the Super Bowl. I don't watch sports. Next up, Princess Diaries. The original. Princess Diaries. What do we think? Lots of love for Princess Diaries coming in the chat right now. Got top tiers. Lots of top tiers and lots of A's. All right, I need another poll. It's the only way to call it. It's too close to call. Here comes a straw poll. Princess Diaries. It was like an even split between A and top. So we got to go with the poll. A couple comments saying my audio's low. Let me know if you guys are having trouble hearing me. I don't know why it's weird, but like when I record shows with the team and when I do these live, like for some reason I need 2 different audio settings. I don't know why. It puzzles me, but I do. I gotta turn myself all the way down for the team recordings and then like up for the solo. This is a new mic and I'm still trying to figure out why that is, but all right. Princess Diaries is going in the A-listers with 52% of the vote. Trailing right behind it was top with 34%, but not as many tops as the other tops. So it's going to be an A-lister. As we move on to the next Princess and the Bride. Or Princess Diaries, sorry. Brains frying. Princess Diaries 2, not Princess and the Bride. What am I saying? Audio low, okay. How about now? Sound a little better? I don't want to turn it up too loud and have everybody's eardrums burst. This was a pretty resounding B. This is a pretty resounding B. Yeah, Princess and the Bride. No, that ain't it. All right. So, number 2 gets a B. Next up. Much improved? Awesome. Thank you, Sunbursts. Muppet Christmas Carol. Cool. Muppet Christmas Carol. What do we think? As you guys cast your vote for the Muppet Christmas Carol, we have our top tier list being The Mighty Ducks, the original Pirates of the Caribbean, Hocus Pocus, National Treasure, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, our A-listers, Chronicles of Narnia, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Holes, Flubber, and The Princess Diaries. Our B-listers featuring the other 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, National Treasure 2, Freaky Friday, and Princess Diaries 2. C, being Chronicles of Narnia 2, Prince Caspian, Air Bud, Haunted Mansion, and Inspector Gadget. Our D-listers being Beverly Hills Chihuahua and Herbie Fully Loaded. And then we also having movies that many people have not seen. Tink D said, did Corey move the tier list show to Sundays? So no, this was just like a one-off. We will still be doing these on Thursdays. I had to postpone last Thursdays because I kind of got, like, I got a migraine that I was recovering from, like, Wednesday night into Thursday. And, like, by the time I would have gone live with the tier list, my migraine was good. But, like, I felt like I got hit by like a truck, you know, like I was just completely run down, and I didn't necessarily want to come on and just like be sluggish. So I felt like it would be better to just push it into the weekend where I like felt, you know, more alive. So, Muppet Christmas Carol. Is it either an A or a top tier it's looking like? Now, looking at chat, this looks like a top tier movie. Looks like a top tier movie. And I can agree with that. Thank you, Monica. I appreciate that. Next up, Newsies. So, and thank you, Sunburst. I appreciate that too. Fun thing about Newsies is my little brother Sean was just in a local theater's play of Newsies. He was in like the play that my local theater back in Massachusetts performed. It was cool. They actually streamed it to YouTube because it was the last show they did right before the shutdown, and they had the video of it, so they streamed it to YouTube. It's down now though, but I shared it out when it was live. It was cool. It was a cool watch. But it looks like a lot of people haven't seen it. So many people, in fact, that it goes into the didn't see it category. I've seen it. I mean, of course, my little brother was in it and then not seeing it is kind of messed up. I've seen it. I put it up pretty high on the list, but most people haven't seen it, so that's fine. When you get the chance, watch Newsies. Next up is Noel, a Disney Plus original. A Disney Plus original Christmas movie. What do we think about it? Wow, a lot of people haven't seen Noel. Amanda Beck says y'all got some movies to watch. Apparently, yeah. This is one of the Disney Plus originals, guys. Go check it out. All right. Most people haven't seen it. So Noel is going to have to end up in the didn't see it category. Most people have not seen it. And that's just how it is. Next up we have Parent Trap. Not the original again, because we're only doing movies from the 80s to now. This is the Lindsay Lohan one. Did anybody else watch Parent Trap as a kid, or whenever you watched it and thought that they were actually two different girls? Like they were like actually twins in real life and they weren't the same actress? I did. I thought they were two separate people, like actually. And when I was told that they weren't, I didn't believe the person that told me that they weren't. All right. Parent Trap's an A. The number one said answer by a large margin is A. So there it goes. An A-lister. Next up, Remember the Titans. This movie, I think, deserves a shout out because even people who really didn't care about Disney. When this movie came out, everyone was talking about this movie. Kids in middle school, parents, everybody was talking about Remember the Titans. It was the big deal for Disney fans and not Disney fans. Everyone loved it. Votes are coming in for Remember the Titans. And it's a top tier movie. It's got to be a top tier movie. It's either top tier or A, and right now the number one set answer is the toppest of top tiers. So Remember the Titans takes its spot in the toppest of top. And now I think this is where our top tier ranking is going to get some company. It's about to get some company, guys. There's no way around it. Because I think there's only one place for this movie to go. There's only one place for Saving Mr. Banks to go. But that's up to you guys to tell me. Where does Saving Mr. Banks belong? Where does Saving Mr. Banks belong? Now, just real quick, to interject my own opinion as I put Saving Mr. Banks the only place it can possibly go in the top tier list. If you have movies on this list like many of us do that you have not seen, make Saving Mr. Banks be the thing you watch, like right away. Go watch Saving Mr. Banks. Go watch Saving Mr. Banks. You need to. This is one of those movies that if you were not a Disney fan, I'd say, okay, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Don't watch it then. But if you are a Disney fan, if you like the history of the company, if you like that type of stuff, this should be like, you need to go watch this. Like, go watch this movie. Like, leave the stream now and just go watch it. Like, you're hanging out with me instead of watching Saving Mr. Banks, go watch Saving Mr. Banks. That should be number one priority. I won't even feel bad if you leave me right now to go watch it. Like, it's the greatest. It's such a good movie. Go watch Saving Mr. Banks. That's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And while I'm on the topic of Saving Mr. Banks, you need to go see it. You need to watch it. Make it a priority. Kim Olsen says bye. Also on Disney Plus is Waking Sleeping Beauty. That's another one you got to watch. Yeah, no hard feelings. I'm sorry if I upset anybody, but go watch Saving Mr. Banks for real. Next up, Snow Dogs. Snow Dogs. Yeah, and you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Black Panther says strong feelings, Corey. I have never heard anybody watch that movie and then come back and say they didn't like it. The only thing I've ever heard was it's amazing. Best ever. Like, just people loved it. Everyone loves it. I love it. Right now, Snow Dogs is looking like a B. Oh, lots of votes just came in. Let me catch up. Okay. I'm catching up. And it's still a B. So, Lots of people haven't seen it, but there's enough B's to make it a B. And with that, we have the Nutcracker in the Four Realms. Nutcracker is up next. And as you all cast your votes for Nutcracker, I'm going to wait to put it until I see my screen catch up. Okay, now while you all vote for Nutcracker, let's take a look at what we're working with right now. Our top tier movies, the best of the best on this list, are Remember the Titans, The Mighty Ducks, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, Hocus Pocus, National Treasure, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, A Muppet Christmas Carol, and Saving Mr. Banks. Those are our top tier movies. Our A-listers, almost the top, but just missed it by a margin, is Chronicles of Narnia, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Holes, Flubber, The Princess Diaries, and The Parent Trap. B-listers are the rest of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, National Treasure 2, Freaky Friday, Princess Diaries 2, and Snow Dogs. Our C-listers being Chronicles of Narnia 2, Air Bud, Haunted Mansion, and Inspector Gadget. D-listers, Beverly Hills, Chihuahua, and Herbie. And then our didn't see it, or most of the chat has not seen it. We get a number of those. So, Nutcracker. Most of you haven't seen it. But I have. I've seen Nutcracker of the Four Realms. But since about, I'd say 60 or 70% of chat hasn't seen it, it's going to go in the didn't see it category, but I'll tell you what I think about the Nutcracker. Real quick. Because I feel like following this stream, people are going to have some ideas of movies they might want to watch. The Nutcracker was something that I put on with the intention to watch, but ended up doing other things while it just played in the background. There's movies that fall into that category all the time, and I didn't mind having it on in the background. I thought it was really nice to have it on in the background, but it obviously didn't engage me and captivate me like something like Saving Mr. Banks did. Like, if I put Saving Mr. Banks on and then tried to do something else, like, I wouldn't want to. Like, I'd want to watch this movie. Same thing if, like, the first time I ever watched National Treasure, I wouldn't want to not watch National. I'd want to sit down and, like, actually be engaged and watch the full movie. Nutcracker I was kind of not entranced by. But most of you have not seen it. So, we move on to Tomorrowland. I don't know if this is available yet, but I saw this in theaters. Chat, what do you think? Have you seen this? Tomorrowland. There's a large variety of answers here. So I'm going to take another poll. Here it comes. Here comes a poll for Tomorrowland, everybody, so you can vote. And while you guys are voting for Tomorrowland, if you could, give this video a thumbs up. It does help us out a ton. And if you're interested in the other tier lists that we have done, on the Diz Unplugged playlist page, we have a playlist called Disney Tier List, and you can check out how other things got ranked by myself in chat. Things like all the Disney animated films, things like attractions at Epcot, snacks, all sorts of stuff. So give that a gander if you are interested. As I take a look at the results, we have almost half of chat today saying they haven't seen it. More than half, or almost half. So with that, I think Tomorrowland is a haven't seen. I think that's what it's going to have to be. And we have one movie left in our list today. For those who, Tammy Peterson, for those who loved Remember the Titans, you need to go watch Glory Road. Okay. Tammy, do you know where people can find Glory Road? Do you know if it's on Netflix or Hulu or something? Tron is our last movie on the list. Yeah, Monica, I really like Tomorrowland too. I really liked it too, but it looks like it's one of those things that just not a lot of people have seen. This is Tron Legacy. Good point. My bad. This is Tron Legacy. The other Tron wasn't listed on the Disney movies list, which is strange. Maybe it was prior to them purchasing the IP. Maybe that's why. I'm not entirely sure. That's a guess. That's just a guess as to why it wasn't there. Tron is looking like either an A or a B. Can you post the revote? Well, I'll do one better because it is pretty divided. Instead of asking for a revote in chat, I will send a straw poll because it was pretty divided anyways. So let's do that. Thank you, Jason. Here comes the poll, guys, for Tron Legacy. Monica says, Fiasco, what are we ranking next week? I haven't decided yet. If you guys want to input your suggestions, once this video processes on YouTube, so not right now during the live, because I won't be able to see the live comments. Well, I'll see the live comments later, but that's not how I'm going to decide. But once this video processes, so like maybe in about an hour, and our comment section actually becomes available, and you can leave like lifelong comments that don't disappear with the live. Leave a comment saying what tier list you'd like to play with next. So just, whether you want to finish off live action movies and I have another batch of live action movies that we could do. If you want to do that, if you want to do Marvel, if you want to do Star Wars, if you want to go back to theme park stuff like actually at the theme park, we can do that as well. Just leave your comment and I'll probably just go with whatever the most asked for thing is. That's how we ended up with live action, to be honest, is the most requested tier list after we did animated movies was to continue with live action. So that's why we did these. So what you guys suggest really does matter. And it really does kind of decide what we're doing next. So in about an hour, the video should be fully processed and you'll be able to leave those comments. And let's see where we're at for Tron. We have 32 votes in right now. I'm going to give it about 10 more seconds. And just for the people that saying they missed the link, there's one more link for you. Give it 10 more seconds. And I'm going to do one more refresh in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. The number one said answer is B. The number two said answer is didn't see. And then all the rest only got a few votes. So I think it's easy to say with the current votes, we don't have a huge poll to go from, but with the current votes, Tron is falling in the B category. And with that, we have our live action movie tier list part 2. Check in the playlist for part 1. But that list consists of our top tier movies. Those are, our winners are Remember the Titans, The Mighty Ducks, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, Hocus Pocus, National Treasure, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Christmas Carol, and Saving Mr. Banks. Our A-listers being Chronicles of Narnia, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Holes, Flubber, Princess Diaries, and The Parent Trap. B-listers being the other Pirates of the Caribbean movies, National Treasure 2, Freaky Friday, Princess Diaries 2, Snow Dogs, and Tron Legacy. Big surprise there. Some upset in the chat over Tron's mid-tier performance. I'm sorry, guys. C-listers being Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, Air Bud, Haunted Mansion, and Inspector Gadget. D-listers being Beverly Hills Chihuahua, Herbie Fully Loaded. And the movies that about half or more of us have not seen, so we couldn't give a fair rating to, those are BFG, Angels in the Outfield, A Wrinkle in Time, Into the Woods, Hannah Montana the Movie, The Bridge to Terabithia, Newsies, Noel, Nutcracker in the Four Realms, and Tomorrowland. My personal opinion, guys, is if you have not seen Saving Mr. Banks, Remember the Titans, National Treasure, or Holes, those should be your priorities to watch. Personally. But chat's personal opinion is, as you can see here listed on the screen, top tier all the way down to D. And then the didn't sees are just, if you've seen it, you're, ahead of the curve, I guess. And if you haven't seen it, maybe you can go watch it and be one of those people who've seen a movie that most people haven't seen. And with that, there is our live action Disney movie tier list part 2. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. These are always a lot of fun to do these interactive tier lists with y'all. Stay tuned to next week, where we're going to do I Don't Know Yet. That's going to be also up to you. So go ahead later on tonight, after this video processes, leave your comment down in the comment section down below. Not now in the live chat, but in the comment section. Once I press end stream, leave your suggestion for what interactive tier list you would like to play with next. And until then, I'll see you all. Be safe out there, and have a great rest of your night. See ya.